Revenge game.
Well, don't forget. Hey, listen. This is the Jameis revenge game, right?
Right, but how many times we've had the Jameis revenge game and they just literally it didn't matter. You know what I mean? So, hey, it is what it is. But they did not lose that game last week because of Jameis Winston.
No.
I just want to all make everybody understand that part. Jameis was not the reason why they lost the game last week, but he could have kind of moved the ball a little bit better for him as well too. But let's get into this game right here: Steelers, Texans. I always crack up, dude, because why did the Texans think that they were in the rightful ownership of having anything Oilers related? Like, you're not the same situation as the Browns in the Modell situation. And everybody knows that. The Browns were a team that was relevant into the NFL scheme of things over the last 30, 40 years before they had moved. The Houston Oilers were only a team that was relevant when they were good. And that's why you don't get your records, and that's why you don't get your colors, because literally they didn't even want to go back to Houston to put an NFL team there. LA just messed up back in 2002. So Houston, just know why you have a team now. You know what I mean? It's because LA just kept dropping the ball and they just got tired of it. And Houston had a billionaire that built a stadium. It's that simple. It's that simple. And so that's why the Texans are the Texans. But I just wanted to throw that in there because I just want to go ahead.
I don't see Bum Phillips, Dan Passerini, Billy White Shoes Johnson, or Earl Campbell on the fields.
Right. This is a common expansion team. You know what I mean? So, and I say this because the Steelers and the Oilers used to be they were some really heavy hidden rivals, man, and you kind of miss it. And, it didn't translate. It translated a little bit into the Tennessee time, but with the Titans and Steelers splitting up, then things get a little different. You know what I mean? So the rivalry's not the same anymore. But let's get into the game. And Jeff, I'm going to let you kick this one off. What are your thoughts on this game and who wins?
You know something, Pops? I was on a mountaintop last week. I was on a ledge. I could not understand what everyone saw in Vegas versus the Steelers. Excuse me. A Steelers team 0-2 that had faced the 49ers, which some think is the best team in the football right now, and then a very good Cleveland Brown team, which we know defensively is real good. So those are two of the top 5 or 6 defenses in the NFL. Pittsburgh now travels to a controlled setting in a dome, fast track, versus a Raiders team. Yes, it was the home opener, but defensively we understood was not that good and could give up big plays, which they eventually did. Now, of course, Josh McDaniels, who I said to anyone that wanted to listen, when Vegas hired him, you made a mistake. You never should have hired this guy. I lived 45 minutes for him. I dealt with this guy for 2 damn decades almost. He's not that good. Tom Brady made him good. So when he gets fired sooner than later, then you guys can call me up and we'll talk about Jim Harbaugh or whoever else you want to replace him. But my point here is the Steelers got a defense that's going to travel. They got a second-year quarterback with weapons. Deontay Johnson is killing them being on the IR right now, but they're making headways. They got a 2-headed monster with Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. They got Pickens. Okay, so my point here is I was wrong. Hats off to CJ Stroud. This team's got weapons as well. They got Nico Collins. They got the rookie Tank Dell. They got a running back, Damian Pierce. My point is they're playing good ball, inspired ball. I took the Steelers here. I bought the hook. No, actually, I went money line here. I was like, just win, baby, win, baby. My true numbers on this was 3 with a 41.5. It's at 3 and 42.5. Sounds like a broken record, Pops. 23-20, 23-17. I like the Steelers to get to 3-1 here, Pops.
Well, Jeff, I love your thought. I love your thinking here. To be honest with you, I love your thinking here because it seems that you're all over the money line for them today for this game as well. minus 160. And man, it's the right spot to overspend at. It's all good. And pretty much, I truly do feel that the Texans will be everybody's little dog bet of the week this week because they're now talking about CJ Stroud in a high regard. We totally forgot about the first 2 weeks where those gaudy stats that he got were all in garbage time. So pretty much those are what we like to call them old empty Drew Brees stats. You know what I mean? Where you getting the numbers, but your team still lost the game convincingly. Like it wasn't close. You know what I mean? And then you have the breakthrough game against the Jaguars, who did not take you as seriously as they should have. And that's what happens. And D'Amico Ryans, you got some confidence now. Now you guys are going into next week and this week, and you guys are confident. You're feeling good. You're feeling like you can be a contender in a wide open division. It makes sense. This is always the feeling that you get after your first win within the first 4 weeks of the season. Jeff, we know this. Everybody gets a little excited because we're early in the year. You still have a chance to really make your mark, make the playoffs. You still have the ideology of it. And I think now Houston's excited. They've won. They've gotten over that hump. But in reality, the Steelers have been written off. They've been told that they're not that good anymore. They've been told their quarterback is average at best, and they said that their running back is washed. Their wide receivers are inexperienced. Their tight end is just a blocker. Their offensive line is a shell of what they used to be. And the defense is pretty much carrying them. And really, at the end of the day, TJ Watt's carrying them because Hayward's on the sideline hurt, and he's the other disruptor. And really, it's just the TJ Watt show right now. But TJ Watt's so damn good that it doesn't really matter. Everybody else is just going to fall in line with that situation. And that's where the Steelers get my seal of approval. And I'm going to go a step above. I don't feel like spending that extra money on the Steelers. I'm going to take the spread, -3 to the Steelers. They win this game by a touchdown or better. I know when I even get to Sunday, I might line them to 6.5 if I get the number. Because I feel that good about the Steelers going into this game. But I don't feel good about them going into the next 4 weeks after this, though. But I feel good about them going into a game like this because this is a good proving point because I feel like a lot of the money is going to go on top of the Texans for this one right here.
No, I like where your eyes are. Like I said, I got one more money line. I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of our first 8 games. I got on the money line. So usually that happens. It'll end up being a split. But I'm firm believer that the Steelers have been undervalued all year. They got the first 2 games under their belt with the split, and now with that win, they cannot falter and go to 2-2 when they got a big opportunity to get to 3-1 in a division that you and I both know is the toughest division of all, with the Browns, with the Ravens, and then Joe Burrow now coming back. So every game is a must-win situation.
Yes, it is.